to make this video resourceful, I will avoid using the bad YouTube rules, and if you just want to see the resources and not the backstory, check out the description, and probably you shouldn't watch this video, just look at the description. But anyhow, here's what I have to say. Alright, so I'm making this video as a response to a Twitter discussion that people like GoToAD, Sir Carpestruck, and Canil had on Twitter, and I already responded with a couple of tweets, but then noticed that the length that you can respond in Twitter isn't just suitable to something that I would like to say. So I decided to make a YouTube video, since I can actually show stuff and so forth. So the Twitter discussion was about, is there any good tutorials for coding PC demos? And I think the guy who was asking was GoToAD, but he was asking for his friend, I think, who was Canil. Hopefully I'm correct about this. Well, anyways, there was discussion about doing 1K or 4K or 64K, that there's certain limitations that you might want to have, or I don't know, you want to use certain languages or something like that. Canil was, for example, suggesting that he should use C and SDL, and he would like there to be a tutorial from a Demoscene perspective, how to make demos with C and SDL, and how to make the right makefile, and how to start showing stuff on the screen. But the problem is that there are so many different ways to make demos that there's simply no, this is how you make a demo with C++ and OpenGL, or this is how you make demo with, let's say, well, for example, C and SDL, because people want to make very different stuff in the Demoscene and use very different tools to achieve it, and very different languages and different platforms they want to use, Android or I don't know, a C64, or not use OpenGL, use DirectX or something like that. Having a tutorial on the right ways to do things, there's too many options. What kind of tutorial there should be? So that's why there isn't that many resources. Also, well, there are also demo jams that, sure, they work to a certain kind of crowd. And if you are that kind of person that, can step into a demo jam or like a demo workshop and receive information from more experienced sceners, and while that's happening, you're able to write code, and that's, your thing, then yeah, sure, that works. But there are also different kind of people to whom that doesn't work. So I don't think that there's a 1 or 2 or even 3 ways, the right ways to, teach someone how to make demos, because sceners often have very different goals to achieve. Usually starting small and finding your current limits first helps, but that also depends what kind of learner you are and what kind of background skills you have. I also want to kind of give examples for general cases how to make demos. Usually picking up a C++ book and a book on learning the basics of modern OpenGL and how to work with shaders tends to be the right way of doing advanced stuff once you have learned all the basic stuff on how to make, how to at least code something and have, I don't know, a plasma effect or a sinus scroller on the screen. Usually moving to advanced stuff helps, and one of them is C++ and OpenGL. But who's to say that using Unity or Unreal Engine isn't as applicable as C++? Also using them might be one of the ways how to continue after learning the basics. Also using GNU Rocket or something similar right from the first effect tends to make it more of a fun experience. So, for example, there's this demo jam or Demoscene party called Graffathon held in Espoo, Finland, and they tend to recommend for your first demo using processing and GNU Rocket, because with GNU Rocket you can actually almost immediately start doing scenes and tweaking stuff much easier than by, writing all the parameters into the code. Oh, it also helps that processing is, and it's very easy to write, and they have, I think, several seminars about using processing. There's also this seminar from Assembly, which is more general on how to, for one way of doing demo programming. For Unity, or really actually for understanding how shaders work, there's a great tutorial on Unity shaders made by Unity Cookie. He goes through all the basic rendering techniques with Unity shaders. Unity uses a NVIDIA developed shader language called CG, which is no longer officially supported by NVIDIA, but Unity uses it. And this guy's tutorial series is actually very insightful into how all the different lighting mechanisms and texturing and so forth works, and perspective stuff. So that might be one of the resources, especially if you're wanting to use Unity. One of the great resources. Again, I put all of this in the description area. For more raw OpenGL stuff, you might want to check out OpenGL/tutorial.org. They have fairly basic OpenGL tutorials, but they help you to get OpenGL onto C++ and OpenGL work in a C++ environment. I don't think that there's that many shader tutorials that are terribly good, at least from a Demoscene perspective. So if people want, I could actually go ahead and make some, but one good resource for learning how to write at least OpenGL shaders is ShaderToy. So I recommend checking out ShaderToy, but one of the big problems with ShaderToy is that some of the shaders are designed only for NVIDIA or AMD, and they might crash on your graphics card, because shaders tend to have problems with compatibility across different manufacturers, different drivers. Also, asking for help on different Demoscene channels is helpful. So, for example, you might find your way into IRC or Demoscene or Poet. Those are one of the ways, but I think someone mentioned in the Twitter discussion that Poet is, quote, toxic, or how I would describe it. There's sometimes some drama there. So, yeah, I don't think that Poet describes the whole Demoscene. It just tends to be that because there's so many people, unfortunately, some of different groups and different people's drama escalates in Poet, which is unfortunate, but I don't think it describes nowhere near the entire Demoscene. Just some arguments between some few groups or few people. So, yeah, just as a statement. But anyhow, if there are any things that you would like to be learning about, especially from the Demoscene's perspective, please message me here on YouTube or message me on Twitter or the discussion that we had on Twitter. And if you want to make stuff of your own and you want to advertise it to other people regarding Demoscene, do tell me, because I'm willing to tell other people and spread the good message around. So thanks for watching, and I'll make an update video if there's more content that I'll be spreading or doing or finding or so forth. So yeah, thanks for watching.